Hey guys, welcome to season 4 of All Good Reviews. This is Matt Allgood, your host. I'm Matt Allgood, and we are doing a special movie today. I say special because this movie is already out in another form, and it's actually a remake of a movie that's already been done, and pretty recently too, not very long ago. Back in 2002, Eli Roth made his debut with Cabin Fever. And it was a story about kids who are stuck in a cabin and who happen to get attacked by a man in the woods who is infected by some kind of virus, and they all end up getting infected. So they all basically try to survive the attack without infecting anybody else, with disastrous results. It was a pretty fun movie. It's kind of had a weird kind of black humor to it. Kind of a weird sense of humor and some pretty good effects for his first film. Not a great film, but a good film. And he went on to make Hostel, Hostel 2, Knock Knock, and the recent Green Inferno. So he's had a pretty good run in movies. He's also going to be possibly directing the Death Wish remake with Bruce Willis. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. That's kind of hearsay. So that may or may not happen. Don't quote me on any of this, because I don't really know if any of this is going to really come to fruition or not. I don't know. But we're not talking about the original Cabin Fever today. We're talking about this piece of garbage. No. It will make your flesh crawl. This is a remake of the 2002 film, almost shot for shot. Not quite, but a lot of the scenes that were from the first film are represented in this film. They take a few liberties with changing a couple things around a little bit, but for the most part, same old, same old. Cabin Fever, the remake, offers very little originality. So I'll tell you what it's about, basically. It's kind of like about what the original was about. Executive producer Eli Roth presents this reboot of his instant classic gorefest, which features an all-new characters and all-new kills. Same characters, pretty much. The story is familiar. Fresh out of college, a group of 5 friends retreat to a remote cabin in the woods for one last week of partying, only to become snacks for a gruesome flesh-eating virus. This fresh spin on a horror comedy. Notice how I said fresh spin, because it's really not. On a horror comedy milestone, I don't know about that either. Stars Gage Golightly, Exeter Teen Wolf, Nadine Crocker, Dead Girl, Samuel Davis, Machete Kills, Sin City and A Dame to Kill For, and Dustin Ingram, Paranormal Activity 3. It's got special features, the making of Cabin Fever, theatrical trailer. Directed by Travis Z, story by Eli Roth, written by Eli Roth and Randy Perlstein, who also wrote the original screenplay. And Eli Roth originally directed the first film. This one's directed by another director. I have no idea who Travis Z is. He must be like a new director or something. There's the back part to it. He's holding up the dead guy's holding up the guy, and they're all getting rotted away. No, it's got a little slip cover thing on it. It's basically the same thing. There's a little pancake kid somewhere on there. I think he's behind the disc, actually. Everything about this remake is strictly by the numbers. It's got really dull performances. The gore effects are decent, but that's really the only thing that holds up in the remake. There's really not anything to phone home about. I mean, it's really dull. Even the line deliveries for a lot of the actors aren't very good, but a lot of it could have been fixed by just maybe amping the lines up a little bit. The first characters in the first film weren't incredibly likable, but at least they had some energy to their performances. This is all like, man, we're being infected, we gotta go. What do you mean we gotta go, man? We gotta go, man, we're infected. And I'm like, it's not coming across as anything at all. It's just hitting the surface, and that's it. I mean, there were a few like scenes that I liked, like when he takes on the hillbilly people, and he starts shooting them or whatever before they shoot him, and they all kind of gun down within a. It's kind of like a like a little ipso facto, kind of shooting at the same time kind of thing, and that was kind of cool. There were a couple scenes that I kind of liked, but overall, not very memorable. Not very memorable at all. Travis Z does not know how to direct a movie, and Eli Roth should have made it a little bit different. I don't know why he did the same thing over and over. We've seen the first Cabin Fever. We know what it's like. Do something a little different with the remake. Make it a little bit different. This was almost like a shot-for-shot, kind of like Psycho was, and that was basically worthless. I mean, we didn't need a shot-for-shot remake for Psycho. That was pointless. And this is almost kind of in the same realm. It's from IFC Midnight, and they can't even get the Pancake Kid right. I mean, he's really dull. The kid in the first one was at least kind of had a little creepiness to his performance. The one in this one is basically just pancakes. The delivery, the performances. There's a few good performances. The hillbilly guy is not bad. All the leads pretty much are bland. There's not much to any of the leads to discern kind of one from the other. The Burt character isn't even the douchebag, tough guy character from the original isn't even represented well. They take the scene with him shooting squirrels or whatever, and I was hoping they would have the "'cause squirrels are gay" line in this one, but they didn't. They didn't even have that line. Like some of the lines I hoped they would repeat, they didn't repeat. Oh, and this is another thing too. Before I go, Deputy Winston, who is played by Giuseppe Andrews in the original, is played by let's see, I don't know if it was Nadine Crocker. I'm not exactly sure what her name was, but they swapped the sexes basically on the deputy. So the deputy's a woman this time instead of a man, but her delivery is so dull too. It's like, "So you guys are gonna party? You like to party, huh? You guys, you're the party guy. You like to party." And I'm like, oh my God, Eli, God, you've done a couple movies. Get some energy into this one, because it's dead on arrival. Just the whole thing is like, I kept waiting for like, okay, well maybe it's kind of slow starting. Maybe it'll amp up a little bit. Amp up a little bit. Amp up a little bit! God, do something here. Do something with your freaking screenplay. Give it some energy. Give it some pop. Give it something, because it's basically just coming across as, yeah, we're doing a remake, and it's pretty much the same as the original. So who gives a fuck? We'll make it however we want to do it. I mean, that's all I get from it, and that's all that came across. I'm sorry. If anybody liked it, I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm really not. But this was so dull. It could have been so much better. And when I got it, I was like, well, maybe people are talking crap about it. Maybe it's better than I thought. It really wasn't. And I got to the end, and I was like, they didn't even have the cool montage of the trucks driving off with the water that's been infected like they did in the first one, and they kind of had a little segue on that. But I don't think they even had that in this one. It was just the Pancake Kid killing the guy. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. Sorry, I gave it away, but if you have seen it, you're not missing much, and you know what I'm talking about. But just dull, non-energetic, bland, boring. Those are just some of the words to sum up this movie. So I think you know where my final verdict is going. One-time watch, multiple watches, rough sledding. No, rough sledding indeed if you plan to check out this remake. If you want to watch a good movie, if you want to watch a good kind of scary movie, put the original in. I think you'll be a lot happier. Better performances, creepier atmosphere, and just a lot better movie. A lot more effort was put into that one than this one. You can clearly tell. I mean, if you put them back to back from the original to this one, there's not really a contest. I mean, this one is just listless. It's boring. The actors aren't very good. It's just not very well made at all. And I don't know. Maybe it was just a first-time viewing. I didn't like it, but I don't know. I don't think even multiple viewings is going to help this one. So Rough sledding if you decide to check out Cabin Fever the remake. Not very good at all. Alright, thank you guys. Keep tuning in. We're on Season 4 to All Good Reviews. We got a lot more episodes coming up. This is Episode 4. I'm going to be keeping track of these this time so I don't freaking screw up on which one I did do and didn't do. So stay tuned. More great episodes coming up. And also stay tuned for my other shows. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Matt Media, online. And give my videos a like. Give them a thumbs up. Comment. Share them around. Do whatever you want to do. But try to keep the comments positive if you can. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. And you will hear me soon and see me soon. Matt Allgood, peace. Signing off.